Are expectations too high for Multiverse of Madness reviews? Say hell no. What's up? I'm Kendall, aka the Nerd Sensei with Normies to Nerds. Thank you for stopping by and drop a like and sub to the channel. Now the reviews are out and bro, we have to go over all of them. But with reviews come spoilers. The list of multiversal cameos in this film is also out. Look, the first half of this video will be spoiler free. We're just going to be going over the reviews, but then in the back half of this video, I'll put a time code description below. We'll be going over the list of all of the confirmed multiversal cameos that are in this movie. And again, there will be a huge spoiler warning for you all to get out of here if you're not interested in that. Let's get it. These reviews are fresh as they come. And they're saying that the movie is scary good, figuratively and literally. The movie is supposedly scary and good. Let's kick it off. Pairing them off with Collider said, Marvel made a horror movie. It's weird, scary, and earns the title Multiverse of Madness. If you were at all concerned that this movie wouldn't feel Sam Raimi enough, fear not. I can't imagine a more Sam Raimi MCU film. My genre-loving heart is bursting right now. Eric Davis says, by far the creepiest, gnarliest, zaniest, most haunting and terrifying Marvel movie. Multiverse of Madness definitely brings the Sam Raimi horror vibes, and I love that about it. Danny Elfman's music is the perfect fit for the film's odd, mysterious tone, and Elizabeth Olsen is MVP in my opinion. Liam Crowley with the direct had a more critical and maybe nitpicky review of the movie. But hey, I ain't here to critique the critic. But he says Doctor Strange throws a lot at the wall, some sticks, some falls flat, mostly with CGI. Olsen crushes it, but Gomez is the rock star. Cumberbatch really feels like the anchor of the MCU throughout. Not perfect, but worthwhile experience. Now I'll end it off with this one from Eric at Bro Bible. Multiverse of Madness very much feels like a both Sam Raimi movie and a day in the life of Doctor Strange. It's the MCU formula perfected in my opinion. Despite the franchise/multiversal implications reveals, the film very much is self-contained and focuses on its story and style. Bruh, that's just a bit of them. There's a lot more, in which I might say it's been overwhelming with great reactions to this movie, reminding me of a lot of the first time we got reviews from Spider-Man No Way Home. But the largest piece that's coming out of these reviews for me is that, yo, people are actually saying that this is a real, true horror movie. Like, bruh, am I gonna have to go to bed with a nightlight on Thursday night? But yo, going back to after Scott Derrickson left, there was major concern that Marvel would tone down the horror elements. And you know, Marvel lit up. To see the critics on Twitter and the first thing to pop off their Twitter fingers is on the horror element, bruh, this jank has to be scary. I'm really looking forward to seeing those gory fights, haunting images, and the eeriness that Wanda will put in the movie all come together. And next is the movie's big three cast members, Elizabeth, Benedict, and Zakshiel. We're seeing a lot about their performances, and yo, they're getting big praise. Even one hinting that Zakshiel stole the show, and bruh, I never saw that coming with the people that are involved with this movie. But yo, we knew what Lizzie would be bringing to the table as the Scarlet Witch. Like, that's one take that's going to be set in stone. Benedict, even though he isn't really in the hot seat, he has to deliver that oomph in this performance to show he can carry the torch in the MCU, and it looks like he did. And I do want to wrap this review section up here by talking about a little bit of the not so good things that have been said about the film so far. Like, people are saying the CGI can be a bit iffy, and it seems like a lot is going on in the movie. And honestly, I hear those critics and think, word, you kind of just probably trying to make it feel like you're not just an all-out shield for Disney and want to give a real critique about this movie. It's fine. But for me, as long as the CGI is not as bad as that final fight scene in Black Panther, and yo, I'm really sorry to bring that up, but bruh, I'm fine with whatever the CGI is. And with it being the Multiverse of Madness, I expect a bunch of moving parts in this film. And it really seems like they're going to be putting a lot into this 2-hour and 30-some minute movie, right? But when it comes to the Multiverse of Madness and everything that's going to be in there, I would really expect for them to do that. That's really how it should be if you're going to make me sit in the theater for that long. Make sure you do not take the gas off the pedal and keep the movie rolling. But yo, altogether, the reviews for this movie look great, and I'm even more excited to see this film come together on Thursday night. And by the way, if you're still here watching this video, thank you for hanging out with your boy. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and join us on this ride as we continue to grow here. Now for all of the tea that is in this, the spoilers, right? So here's how we're going to do this. I got a list of the multiversal cameos that are going to be showing up in this movie. We're going to break that down, and then after that, I'll get into my final predictions for this film. So let's go ahead and get into it with this list. And bruh, thank God to start it off, Mephisto is not on it, bruh. But depending on how high your expectations are as far as cameos in Multiverse of Madness, you'll either be satisfied or blown away by this. But I do not believe anybody in their right minds will look at this list and be disappointed, to be honest. But My Time to Shine Hello on Twitter has dropped her final list of multiversal cameos. And we'll start with the ones that have been hinted in trailers. Number 1, Patrick Stewart, Professor X. Look, that was one that everybody and their mama knew about after the Super Bowl ad, but there is a bit of a twist. This footage hints that ain't the Fox Professor X. That seems to be X-Men 90s show Charles Xavier, and bruh, I cannot wait to find out the implications of that. Number 2 is Haley Atwell's Captain Britain, who seems to be coming from the What If timeline, which I think is absolutely dope. We seem to have a bit of homage or Easter egg to that timeline when she has a jetpack on. It looks like it comes straight out of Howard Stark's lab in that What If series, so it seems that they could be teasing that she went back in time, much like our Cap did in the main MCU timeline. But yo, I'm excited to see her. And by the way, did you see her on that red carpet? Bruh, she ate that Jane up. Cap, I understand why you stayed back in time, my brother. But number 3 is Lashana Lynch, who My Time to Shine Hello calls Captain Marvel done right. And shit, judging off that thickness, it's done right. But anyway, this one might have a bit more spice to it, but for now, the real spoilers, like the cameos that we have not seen anything yet in trailer footage. Let's get into it. Number 1, John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. Bruh, that is one that everybody has been hoping for and praying for, and to see done, the ultimate fan casting John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. That could have some really big implications about things moving forward in the Fantastic Four, and what that could mean as far as regards to our main timeline and how we're going to deal with the first family. Like, to be real, there's a ton of possibilities that could come out of this, especially as John Watts has walked out the door as director. Some people are thinking that John Krasinski could be knocking on the door to be a director and Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four, which I think could be dope. And if we look at it this way, if they're going to be one movie that's just based in the multiverse, I would look at it being Fantastic Four as being a possible candidate for that. So John Krasinski could be one who survives and lives on, and we follow his story into his universe in the Fantastic Four, as they are likely to play a huge part in the whole Secret War saga. Number 5 is Anson Mount as Black Bolt, and it's important to note that he actually has the fork in his head this time. Like, it's actually a thing. And I'm actually hyped for that, bro, because he's getting another shot to knock this out and to do it right. Inhumans was a bum of a show. I didn't even watch it, but I ain't got to watch it to know that was trash. And I'm also interested to see how this will possibly tie in with an Inhuman that's in our universe that's supposed to be coming out, Ms. Marvel. I know there's rumors that they're stepping away from that, but there's still possible ways that they could come in and tie that all together with the Inhumans, or at least explain why there are no Inhumans in our universe. So I'm hyped to see Anson Mount get his shot here again. And lastly, at number 6 is Charlize Theron as Clea. That seems to be pretty much self-explanatory. I'm not really sure what her role is going to be doing in this film, but I do have a feeling that she is going to be somewhat of a large love interest to Doctor Strange, who's going to be going through some stuff on his own self, whether it's love life or what have you. But to have his love interest be brought here in this movie, Multiverse of Madness, I'm very interested to see how that will play out in this film and in the future. And yo, again, if you're really still hanging here with me and enjoying this content, please subscribe to this channel. I appreciate everyone who hangs out here with me in my videos. But to wrap all of this up with Multiverse of Madness here are my final predictions. Let's start off with Doctor Strange. I think a lot of what Doctor Strange is going to be going through is self-reflection and character development by way of the multiverse and seeing himself in other versions. We're going to be seeing Doctor Strange in different extremes. Like, Doctor Strange has always been someone to bend the rules, right? To not really play by the rule books of reality. We've seen that with his use of the Time Stone. However, he could see the results of moving things a bit too far by looking at his variants, by looking at the evil Doctor Strange, who could have just really pushed things too far. And by the way, I don't think that evil Doctor Strange would be the villain, but he can look at him and see how far he went. But then also on the other end of the spectrum, he could look at possibly Doctor Strange, who is not that evil, the Defender Doctor Strange, who isn't necessarily evil, but he does whatever he feels is necessary for the greater good. And that too as well leads him to a path of destruction. All that for something for our main timeline MCU Doctor Strange to gather up and take into his mind and to take into account. And I really think it's important that he gets that mind right and gets things in line ready for Secret War. You know, when it comes to Wanda, she's going to be searching for her happiness and finding her kids, but bruh, happiness is one hell of a drug too. It doesn't take a mind reader to know that Wanda is going to be going after her kids, Tommy and Billy, that she got in WandaVision. Something that she really shouldn't have been able to conjure up, but somehow she did with her powers. And since then, I'd imagine she's done everything she could to try to get them back. And that's what she's going to be searching through here. And I think really this is going to be Wanda's villain story. Like, we're really going to see how powerful she is as a character as she takes down a lot of those counterparts on the Illuminati from the multiverse. She takes those down, and I can see her really going on a power trip and us seeing just how powerful she is. But at the end of the day, we also see how hurt she is and how much she just wants this one thing, and that is to have her kids once more and just to be happy. Like, however, I do think Wanda will get her hands on her kids, and if we tie this into what I'm going to talk about next as far as Kang goes, I think it's going to influence Wanda to rewrite the rules of reality so that mutants in some way can exist in our universe. I think that's going to be one of the bigger reveals, is that she's going to bring mutants into our universe. Maybe not a full-on reverse House of M, but just make it so that mutants can exist and we can start seeing mutants pop up in the MCU. And I think that would be an absolutely dope way to end it off. So yeah, don't quote me quite yet on a full reverse House of M, but I do think that Wanda will be bringing mutants into the MCU so that she could have her kids, Tommy and Billy, join us here as well. And you know your boy can't end the video without saying Kang is behind all of this, bro. Now, I don't really think that this is going to be something that's brought out in the front street, but it is something that I want you all to keep in mind. Any weird things that's going to happen here, I think it is because Kang is altering the story so that things will go his way. My long-running theory is that Kang is keeping Wanda from being able to have kids so that she can destroy the multiversal Illuminati. And his plan could pretty much almost work, except for Doctor Strange throwing a wrench in there and possibly doing something with Wanda, influencing her to just rewrite the rules of reality instead. Some crazy stuff, but I do think that Kang at the end of the day is at the head of this and is causing a lot of what's going on in this movie and a lot of Phase 4, to be honest with you, so that he can settle the Council of Kangs. I do have to throw that out there because I do think that, much like Thanos was the overarching big bad in the first Avengers movie, I think that Kang the Conqueror will be revealed later on as the overall big bad in this movie, and it's something that people should keep in mind watching this film. But whew, all that to say, bruh, Multiverse of Madness is finally here, and I cannot wait to get in the movie theater at Thursday at 3 o'clock. Your boy is going to be hyped. But like I said, please don't spoil it for anybody else. Look, I know I just talked about a bunch of spoilers, but everybody doesn't want to be spoiled. Please don't spoil it for everybody else, and let everybody enjoy things how it comes to them. But hey, if you have one thing that you're looking forward to in the movie, let me know in the comment section below. Again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate everyone who hung out with me here today. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We are on the grind to 1,000 subs, so help us reach that, please. I am Kendall, aka the Nerd Sensei. I will see you all in the next video.